You've seen us release multiple videos upgrading different BMW G01s with Alpha 1. Today we're going to be combining them all together to show you just how easy it is to upgrade your G01 with an Alpha 1 amp, our original speakers, and our sub-10 trunk sub. Welcome back, Dylan here. As mentioned, we have a few videos on the G01. One is installing our original speakers in a customer's G01, another is installing our amp in our G01, and finally, installing our sub-10 also in our G01. Now, if you've seen any of those videos before, you've seen parts of this video. To give you an idea of the whole process, we'll be combining all three of those videos into one to show you how it will be from start to finish to completely transform the audio system in your G01. Now, in the video, we'll be showing two different BMW G01s, but in this case, a G01 is a G01. Now, before we get to the installation compilation, let's learn a little bit more about all the equipment that will be featured in this video. Now, of course, if you want to learn more details about each specific item, you can find tons of videos on our channel or head on over to our site to learn more. The speakers. The Alpha 1 speakers are direct plug-and-play replacements of the factory speakers. Being made from high-end components and expertly constructed with precision, these speakers can handle far more power than factory speakers, all while delivering deep lows, clear mids, and crisp highs. This amp is a compact design that's completely plug-and-play. It delivers 710 watts RMS and 1,420 watts max power, which is 4 to 7 times the amount over stock. It features 9 output channels, which includes one RCA line-level pre-out to drive an additional subwoofer amplifier, which leads us to the next piece of the puzzle, the sub-10 trunk sub. This easy DIY plug-and-play sub designed by our award-winning car audio competition specialist is optimized for lightning-fast and deep bass response and DSP tuned for the Alpha 1 amplifier and acoustics of BMWs. Proudly developed and manufactured in Poland, this sub not only sounds great, but it boasts an aesthetic industrial design crafted from premium materials. The enclosure features a 900-watt RMS single-channel Alpha 1 monoblock amplifier that powers the 300-watt RMS 10-inch driver. All of this you can do yourself with our DIY Essentials Kit and Trim Toolkits, but of course, if you don't want to do this yourself, you can find one of our certified installers near you. We have them in about 30 countries around the world. And of course, if you're in the Orlando, Florida area, well then stop on by and we could do it for you. But either way, this is going to be a long one, so let's get to all three parts of this installation. The first step is to remove the floor panel and disconnect the battery. At the far end of the floor panel, lift up this cover and remove the T40 bolt. Do the same on the other side. Lift up and out the floor panel. With the BeamerTech trim tool, remove the two fasteners holding this part of the panel down, and then these two holding the far section of it down. Remove the panel. Now the battery will be exposed. With a 10mm socket, remove the negative battery terminal and set it aside. With the trim tool, pop off this trim and slide it out like so, then remove the two T20 screws underneath. At the base of the panel, there are two more T20 screws. With your trim tools and hands, begin popping off the panel. Don't forget about the tweeter housing. Use a trim tool to pop it off and pull the connector to separate it. Pull the panel off and then disconnect the door handle cable and this one cable fastener. This will be enough to set the panel aside so you could have access to the mid. Pull out the 2 leads to the mid and remove the 3 T20 screws holding it in place. Plug the mid out of the crossover harness into the Alpha 1 speaker and then put it in place. Plug the connector from the tweeter into TW out and power into in. To replace the tweeter, remove the foam backing and with a pick tool or trim tools, pry the tweeter out from the tabs in the housing. Snap in the Alpha 1 tweeter. Place the foam backing back on. Reconnect the fastener and handle cable you took off and begin placing the door panel back on. Snap it back into place. Plug the tweeter in and snap the housing in place. Replace the 4 T20 screws and slide and snap the trim back in. While Jared goes to take a lunch, I'll step in for the back doors. Like up front, use a trim tool to remove the trim and remove the 2 T20 screws. There's one more at the base of the panel. Pop off the 1 retaining clip, door handle clip, tweeter cable, and set the panel aside carefully. Pop off this connection to the speaker and pop this retaining clip out to give you some slack on the door panel. Remove the 3 T20 screws and place the Alpha 1 speaker in its place. Again, with mid-out plugged into it, and then plug in. Now for the tweeter. Remove the factory harness from the door panel and with a pick tool, gently pry the speaker out. Place the Alpha 1 speaker in its place and feed the harness along where the factory one went. Plug in the tweeter, handle cable, and retaining fastener. Then snap the door panel back in place. Replace the 3 T20 screws, trim, and you're done. Hey, Jared's back! For the center speakers, use a trim tool to gently pop the grill out. Remove the 4 T20 screws holding the speaker bracket in place. Lift it up and disconnect the main speaker lead. Remove the 3 T20 screws holding the mid in place and disconnect it from the tweeter. Pop out the old tweeter and pop in the Alpha 1 tweeter. Screw the Alpha 1 mid into place and connect the crossover harness like the other times. Tweeter to TW out and mid into mid out. You can use the twist tie that came with the harness to tidy up the cables. Good thinking, Jarrett. Plug the speakers in, screw down the bracket, snap the grill back down, and you're done. Now for the subs. Reconnect your battery so you can slide the seat all the way back so you can see the 2 bolts holding it down in the front. With a T50 bit and your ratchet, remove the bolts. Move the seat forward and remove the 2 in the back. Tilt the seat back to expose the sub-grill. Remove the 4 T20 screws holding the grill down and remove it. Unplug the sub. BMW glues the sub to the housing, so we'll need to take the whole housing out. Remove the 2 10mm nuts holding the housing down. Begin to remove the sub and housing. You may need to remove this trim to get extra room, which you simply do by pulling up on it. If any pins get stuck in the body of the car, pull them out and put them back in the trim. Remove anything still attached to the housing and take it out. Use a heat gun to warm up the plastic and the glue that the speaker is attached to. Hold it close and keep moving it around slowly. When the plastic is warm to the touch, use a screwdriver to pry up from the connector side. Jarrett and I both tackle this to make it easier, but you could do it yourself. Pop the speaker out and place in the Alpha 1 sub. Drill in the force-applied screws through the guide holes in the speaker to secure the sub to the housing. Place the housing back in place and secure it with the 10mm nuts. Plug it in. Lace the carpet back down and pop the trim piece back in place. Reinstall the grille and seat, and you've successfully installed Alpha 1 speakers in your BMW G01 X3. First, pull off the side panel to expose the mounting location. Here you will see the RAM module. Disconnect the main harness from it by pressing the center tab and rotating the arm. Next, use a 10mm socket to remove these two bolts. It's already time to install the amp, so let's get it ready. It will already be installed on the bracket, so let's plug it in. First, the adapter cable, which won't be used for this installation, but to avoid losing it, plug it in here. Then on the main harness, power, system connector, speaker output, and high-level input. Now let's install the amp. It's going to sit on this stud and be held in place where those two bolts came out of. Slide the bracket first over the stud and then line it up with the two bolt holes. Hand thread the two bolts in place to get everything where it needs to be. Next, take the supplied 8mm nut and thread it over the stud. Once everything is lined up, use a ratchet and your 10 and 8mm sockets to tighten everything down. Now let's plug it all in. Take the green connector on the Alpha 1 harness and plug it into the RAM module on the BMW. Start with the arm up to put it in place and then rotate the arm down to lock it into place. After that, line up the pins on the black connectors and connect them together the same way you did the green one. Last but not least, move the adapter cable out of the way, plug in the USB cable that you'll use if you ever need to digitally access the amp, and tidy everything up. Jared decided to use a cable tie, but none of this is needed. He just likes to be extra. The USB cable allows for that personal audio experience you don't get anywhere else. Our sound engineers have carefully crafted a variety of individual sounding DSP tune sets, which we preload to your Alpha 1 amp before it arrives at your doorstep. That cable is how you access the amp to switch between up to 10 different preloaded DSP tuning files and adjust the amplifier to the music genre and the way you like listening to it. Start by lifting up this panel and removing it. Next, with the BeamerTech trim tool, remove this fastener here. Next, lower the seat, pop off this panel, and then remove the fastener under it. Move the seat belt out of the way and remove the seat bolster by pulling. If the fastener remains behind, pinch in the middle to remove it, and snap it back into the bolster for reassembly later. Now you can remove the side panel by articulating it out like so. And once you can, remove this connector by pulling. Remove the panel. With the aid of a pick or trim tool, open up these plastic doors. Now grab the power cable from the kit and feed it under here like so. Start pulling it through. Locate this grounding location and remove the 10mm nut. Place the ground terminal from the power cable over the stud like so, and replace the 10mm nut. Use a cable tie to tidy up the extra slack in the ground cable. Take the power and ground cables and loosely secure it to this factory loom like so to keep them in place, but not to make it unmovable just yet. You could secure these two cables together earlier to make everything nice and tidy. Now take the two cables and put them in place like so, snapping down the doors as you go. Feed the connector to this position, and then place the cables about here like so, as the sub will go in the middle. You can of course place the sub in any location you choose. Use cable ties to keep them together and tidy. You can now put the side panel back on. Plugging the connector back in as you do. Replace the two fasteners. Replace this cover panel. Replace the side bolster. Replace the last cover panel. To hook up the power, locate and remove this terminal cover. Remove the nut here. We already have some stuff here, so you probably won't have anything here to worry about. Take the power cable and slide it over the stud like so. Replace the nut. Place the cover back on. Next, lower the seat. Pull off the bolster. Again, remove the clip if it remains behind. Like the other side, remove this cover and pop out the fastener. Remove this one as well. Articulate the panel out like so. With the aid of a pick or trim tool, open these plastic doors here, just like you did on the other side. With the amp exposed, start plugging in the included remote in and out cable here, and the included RCA cable here. Jarrett decided to make a loom of the two cables with cable ties since he knows where he wants them to go. You of course can do this after you run the cables so you know where the slack will be. Either way, this is how Jarrett decided to do everything, and where he secured the RCA cable to the amp bracket. Once you begin the run, secure the loom to this factory harness with cable ties, and then feed it through here, snapping down the plastic doors as you go. Run the cable here to the center where the sub will go. With that out of the way, place the side panel back on. Replace the fasteners. Replace the panel. Replace the side bolster. At this point, you can go ahead and replace the lower trunk panel. Replace the far fasteners. Don't worry about the close ones yet since we'll have to reconnect the battery later. Replace the floor panel and reinstall the two T40 screws. Finish up by replacing the side panel, and the reassembly is done. Now for the sub. Start by simply placing the sub where you want. If you want a more secure installation, you can put a Velcro on the bottom of the sub so it grabs the floor panel. At the back of the sub, let's start plugging it in. Power, remote in and out, and finally the RCA. Tuck any excess slack down like so. And reconnect the negative terminal. Replace the two fasteners. Lower the floor panel. Center the sub where you want, and put the seats back. The installation is done. And that is how you install all of Alpha One's audio equipment in a BMW G01, our speakers, amp, and trunk sub. Want any or all of these for your BMW G01 or any compatible BMW, Mini, Supra, or Tesla? Head on over to our site and enter your VIN to find a compatible kit for your ride. Have any more questions about any of these? Well, you could reach out to our sales team via chat on our site or by calling. Already have these and have any more questions about the install or anything else? Reach out to our support team with your order number and they will be eager to assist. But as always, for more tips, tricks, product reviews, and so much more for BMWs, Minis, Supras, and Teslas, make sure you subscribe and don't forget to ring that bell. Want to know what's happening first? Head on over to our site and sign up for our newsletter. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok as well. Thanks for watching.